Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in.
Ending Wolf's death won't help matters.
You had to know that might happen. I mean, you've met Ludwig, right?
Regardless, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They'll have their work cut out for them here. About half the people who come to the Living Lands are fugitives or exiles from something.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
Then it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Well, maybe figure it out. We can't prepare for what we don't know is coming.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
Just mind how close you get. Their experiments don't always go as planned.
They could stand around and have scholarly debates about souls all they want. Gives me a great opportunity to take a nap.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place. It was founded about 50 years ago by a disgraced Valian duke and a handful of Animancers who'd soured on politics in the republics.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches, all surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island. Right. You know, present company excluded, and all that.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean? It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
You don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay, until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the Living Lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald Stair anyway... You won't regret it. Emerald Stair's lovely this time of year. Even the Delimgon bloom.
No matter what I tell you, you keep picking flowers from things that want to kill you.
Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. Well, you came to the right place.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What about you, Marius? What's next?
I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides we could hire?
None that could help the two of you. You need the best guide in the lands to keep you from getting yourselves killed.
Yeah. Who else is going to show us which mushrooms we can eat, and which ones want to eat us?
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdut. I have two rules. No campfire songs, and no hugs. That last one's non-negotiable.
I hear wiggle room on the singing.
If we're done being ridiculous, we should get some rest. We'll be in Emerald Stair tomorrow.
Good to have you with us, Marius.
Right. Go to bed before you violate the hugging rule. What are you grinning about?
Huh? I wasn't grinning. Is it just me, or does the night seem darker here? Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be. Oh, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
True, but at what cost? There's a reason Animancy's failures are more famous than its successes. For every maniac it's cured. I've just always... Then I'm well past seconds myself. If we're... Even decent people make mistakes. And the rest of us can grow, with a little time. If I had to list them all, we'd be talking all night. Anyway, if this place can't give us misfits and screw-ups a second chance, what hope? That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. I was living in a settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rawatayan expat. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we were talking about something else, yeah? I joined up with the Rawatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Part of a long-term effort to reclaim our ancestral homeland and feed Rawatai from Deadfire's fertile soil. I believed in that mission. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins. To add, they're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier. Then I hope you... The Wana... And it was hard to see how... I'd always heard... Some fell apart. Some others didn't buy it. I deserted. And I bounced between... Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rawatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. You figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough. Had enough. I did. Yeah. Look, if I... Whatever you're... 'Cause you... Hey. But... What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my... I usually hear that from someone who's enjoyed the height or position, but I'll never turn down.
I'll let you know if I think of one.
Don't be jealous that you only know me by my rugged jawline. As rare as we are in many parts of the world, it's nice to be appreciated as something other. Fair enough. Almost.
Right.
Rawatize. That's what... Don't sell me short. I've also been a drifter. And
Don't fall for that.
keep going. Then you must have laughed. You'd fit right. For all our... We've... It's been hard. Some of the... Same it. Check your bedroll for fangworms. Those dreams... Should... Yeah. My... You're asking me? Okay. Long enough. Which... He's got... If he give him time. Think of it. Depth. Okay. I think... But as... At the end... Sure. Tom
Was.
Hey, as for... All I... And see... Where's the man could... He had a... He'd give you... That obvious, huh? That's why I've got to put this... I'll tell you... If you get up in the night, don't wander too far.
Envoy, if you're messy... If you're... Until next time. Envoy? Right, changing. Companion? As you know, it's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, tell him I said that, I'll cut. Ask away. Yes, I did. The less we talk about that, the better. No, I really don't. Let's lay this out, Envoy. How about this? You don't worry about my life story, and I won't roll my eyes every time you start talking about souls. Now, we just met, Envoy, and I'm here to do a job. Maybe we'll be best of friends someday, but this isn't that day. Best we just keep things professional. Oh gods, it's like my first week working with Kai, all over again. Well, I'm one of the very few people who spends most of their time out in the wilds and haven't gotten themselves killed yet. I know the difference between hay-bleed toxin and high-tox bloom, which is something you should be really thankful for. And you know the Ballarok and the Grinning Ballarok? Well, it doesn't matter. I am one of the few who have seen a Ballarok and lived. Mostly because I had the brains to run the Dragu out of there. We're gonna get you where you're going, Envoy. Alive and with as few blithe tail bites as possible. That, more or less, is all you need to know about me. Oh? Do tell. More often than you think. Someone's always trying to get a reputation by going after people who have one. Turns out those of us who have a reputation sometimes came by it honestly. We've already talked about this. I hope this isn't going to be a problem. Right. Well, until then, let's just keep things professional. What do you need? Oh, you noticed. I don't know. I've heard stories all my life about the gods and magic, and they never seem to do any good for... Right, sure. But from what I've seen, it mostly causes problems. Magic gives a lot of power to some people, and animancy? Don't get me started on messing with other people. It's just Pargrunan wilderness lore, developed over the centuries in Solace. Tricks, traps, gadgets, nothing more. But hey, if people want to think it's almost all of them. Andra pulling down the moon to destroy civilization. The Godhammer bomb. All that stuff down in the Deadfire. No one as fickle as those gods seem to be should ever be put in charge of reincarnation, I tell you that. Basically, the goddess Andra wanted a civilization dead, so she pulled down the moon to do it. They say Abidan shattered the moon to save the people, and then threw himself in the way of the largest shard. And for his interference, Andra built Abidan a statue as a tribute. Makes no sense at all. Somebody who was a prophet of Aethys decided to start a holy war. To stop him, his enemies built a giant bomb that could kill a god. Stories say the goddess Magrin helped them build it. Sounds about right to me. Anyway, the bomb went off and killed a lot of people. People who wouldn't have died if gods hadn't decided to bicker about. Basically, the goddess Andra wanted... I don't know how you missed it. The god Aethys woke up one day and decided to stomp his way across the world. Imagine, an enormous, unstoppable statue destroying everything in sight. I heard he wanted to destroy the wheel and end reincarnation forever. I wasn't there, but it all happened just a few years ago. Strange you hadn't heard of it. Ah, yes. Agree to disagree. Right, sure. An anime... Well, you asked, I just... Same one you are. Oh, huh, I see. Lember is the language spoken in... You don't hear... I barely realized... And... Ha, right. Something like that. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we travel. Right, changing this. Pleasant dreams. You should keep an eye on that scrape. You don't want it to get infected.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact.
Oh, would you be a dear and help with these sporlings, please?
Looks like she could use our help.
Don't get too comfortable. More are on the way.
Coming from your right.
Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
The mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? Don't take that tone with me, darling. There's a beautiful vase right in those ruins that I cannot reach. And as sharp as my wits are, they are a poor substitute for a ladder. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Do they really? Well, I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the three of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an animancy thing, isn't it?
You make lovemaking sound like Hector Brewer discussing tea. Flaccid. In any event, I already have a lover. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fjord, and I need this vase now. Oh, absolutely not. Vidaro, the governor, is an uptight postinago. But if you want to know about the governor, fetch me that artifact. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinaire, godless expert, and a Balrog in the bedroom.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins. But no one listens to me.
Another win, but who's counting?
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me. We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Of course I can. Are you a wizard as well? Remarkable. An Adiran godlike wizard. You're nearly as fascinating as this godless vase. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I've a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, godlike. Even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's...
And of course I forgot a ladder. And of course I forgot a ladder. Wonderful. And of course I forgot a ladder. Darling, you are aware I can see you digging through my things. Who puts a vase up there in the first place? Who puts a vase up there in the... Who puts a vase up there in the first place?
Granted, I don't come here often, but...
By the...
The armored mask. We dream of steel and charred earth and flame. The memory binds. Heed us. Never speak to her again. Blazing ire. It... pain. You are not safe with her. We reach the spines, but the old scars do not lie. Teeth like thorns.
Yeah. Now, more of this.
Armor isn't one shot! Oh, you see that?
Nice work.
As if people weren't hung.
Hand in hand, they toil, and the earth gives
I
in
don't see
return.
what's the problem.
The smile of the harvest.
I doubt I can explain it to you.
Tell me another solution that would be half as efficient as that.
They just make me feel uncomfortable.
I'm glad to see revenants working in our fields. I see nothing wrong with it.
What if the body used to be your brother? Your grandfather? You, Adiran, you know what a revenant is, don't you? Your dead friends and family walking around rotting all over your cabbages?
Well, they're more efficient than we are. They don't need to sleep or eat, and it leaves us free to do other things.
Oh, well, fire is much more efficient at harvesting the fields. But we wouldn't want to eat whatever it leaves behind. Every monster we let wander the valley is one more threat to our children, not to mention to our crops.
Are we certain of that, Matya?
How would I know? I'm a farmer, same as you. But given the state of our fields... You have more faith in the Animancers than I do, Ondino. At least someone around here seems to have a semblance of common sense.
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. Well, I hope you have a stomach for profanity.
Huh. A woman shouting profanity at leadership? Reminds me of home.
She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. You could do a lot worse than Giatta, but she can be a bit confrontational. The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to find some local sources.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when Animancers fight.
The Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. But worry not, envoy. The Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests when the time comes. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Come on. My invention is guaranteed.
What's the meaning of this?
these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
Did you hear that, Ignacy? You should be taking notes.
Of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
We definitely agree on that.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
They do. And that's the kind of reckless behavior I'm trying to avoid.
Reckless is all we have time for. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. It's nothing. Our governor is backed into a corner and lashing out. I almost respect him for it. Buy me a drink sometime, and I'll tell you all about my family's basement. All of the above. I have a lot of forgetting to do. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giata is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
Ado! Welcome to my establishment, I mean.
Found the machine.
Excuse me, but I'm that busy.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover me.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint. My apologies, Godlike. You happened upon Fior at an inopportune time.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Mesiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Anamancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. Forever.
You may not see it from this vantage, my dear, but you have outgrown these walls. I always knew this day would come, just as I knew how much it would pain you.
Quilici.
Once again, you missed the point.
Thank you. I'm ready. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge. Today, that changes. Glad to hear it. Your education should... Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the dream. I'd rather not speculate until we have more data. If you have questions, I'm sure the others can answer them. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but... Giada. Unfortunate. Yes, her theory of the Dream Scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a strong... Grimoires can hold intense power. Besides... Oh, wait. Indeed, but that well is... An Ardragon's heart. The grove is to the west. You may be able to read. So, still. Do...
If you...
Come back when you have the heart.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment.
Oh, it's you.
Stand boy. Yeah.
What? Where?
Come and get it.
Oh, no,
Left.
you don't. Left leg. Good fighting. Behind you!
One moment. Need a minute. Right.
Right flank!
Nice job, everyone.
Leave something alone long enough, living lands will take it back.
I'm sick!
Watch yourselves. Watch your back! Heal yourself!
I'm sick!
The trail goes through the ravine and into the glade. Careful where you step.
Here we go! Take him down. I can't see it.
Look at that. After you, envoy.
I'm sick!
Let's go. This one's mine. Let's see what you got.
Quiet as there. Think the Delimgon did all that? Or maybe the land itself?
Take your best shot. Right.
One moment.
Not now. Here they come. Not yet. As soon as I can. Come and get me!
I'm sick!
Out of the way!
I'm sick!
welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove. For all time. But why have you come here? A curious thing for Kith to want. Even one as special as you. It belonged to one who tended this grove for longer than I have been here. Sickness changed them, as it has recently changed so many creatures in these woods. It no longer recognized us as their kin. We had... When we had... But it is our kind. It would cause... But... No! So many dead. So many of my kin are dead by your hand. The time...
Come and get me. Oh, no, you don't. On your own.
You take this.
Coming for the right. Unseek. Not looking so good.
Unseek.
Thanks. Settle, you can...
Unseek.
Give me a second. Stay down. In the fight. We got them all. Give me a target. Not now. As soon as I can.
One moment.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much brought that plague.
You ever think, what if I wasn't there?
Of course. What would you do? For an Adiran, you're very resourceful. And with any luck, I can tell you a great deal. Now that I've got the heart, my thirsty invention will drink deeply of its essence. All that's left to do is calibrate it. First things first, let's have a look at your soul. I'm going to ask some questions. No, not to worry. Let's start with an easy one. You wake up on a beach, looking up into the sun. Your hands are covered in blood. All right. Let's try some word association. Tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Pendulum. Chrysalis.
A spark ignites a flame. An idea ignites a war.
Hello? You still with me? In that case, let's stop it before I do any lasting damage. Hey, let's go over your results. Your soul is like a piece of sea glass. All the edges are smoothed down. Quite beautiful, really. Your godlike nature is a marvel to behold. Usually, all it takes is a mirror. Not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. What I see is something entangled about your soul. An outside presence that both is and isn't a part of you. It's old, dark, and rather tricky to pin down. Very interesting. That would be closer to Giata's area. Fascinating. Thank you for getting my machine calibrated. Between the two of us, the essence has... And risk joining her in exile? No. Regardless, essence doesn't. All I can tell you is keep looking. As much as I hate...
Keep looking, huh?
If there's nothing else, I have a great deal of work to do.
And I really loved him.
I really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fiora is
We don't use...
Seven in the past week. How am I supposed to live like this?
Why is it somehow worse when the Revenants aren't trying to kill you?
A godlike in Emerald Stair. Well, I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Beatrice, you know, the one with her viscera on display? As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. But my revenants are special. So gentle and well-behaved. Most of the time.
It's somehow worse knowing that these corpses are polite.
Now, Beatrice, she's being a real problem, if you can believe it. Would you be a dear and reach into her guts? Feel around for anything that... Giata Castel wants my professional opinion. I have to ask. Is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? That's our governor for you. Self-right. Very well. I'll tell you what. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Raven, they can't do comp. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. Yes, quickly and mercifully if you can. Silvo is one of my revenants. My old... Someone needs to put a poor fellow out to pasture.
Well...
When I... Thank you for... You can find... Just be...
So, we're killing a Revenant then? She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.
Quiet, Nimdut. One moment.
Get it!
But the exotic plants and animals, there's something about the essence in the living land. And end up like Giata. Not to get too towards what... And thank you for the... You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me...
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
The great mystery is, Yvette, look what I found! A genuine godlike.
Oh my gods, Remy.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike.
I suppose we owe her a favor. Or two.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada... We want to know about the godlike, of course.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Who wouldn't? My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were... Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? So, you believe we need...
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Oh, didn't anyone tell you? Oh dear, Yvette. I think we've hit a sore topic. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not? Well, there's no reason to be rude. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
We've heard that one before. Good thing we don't listen to criticism.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll. An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. With enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps...
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear
Hurry,
Giada was
before they
sent
change their
into
minds.
exile?
Ugh, I might have
Wonder if she needs a
dozed
new
off there
research
for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
This is one of the Living Land's main export hubs.
Fair.
Or
I didn't do anything wrong.
it used to be.
Probably using me as an example.
Keep quiet.
Oh, no, you don't.
Something the matter? I hope none of my colleagues scared you off. And you got his machine up and running. That's what I call. I helped Montour. I'm going. I hope Elia, when her best. I hate to admit, when he told me. Sounds like. So, did you learn anything of particular interest? That's the fun. Monto's machine is working. I needed those animancers for more than their Monto's invention nullifies spiritual interference. Having it up and running, whenever I tap into an Adra pillar, Elia's farmhands tend to get a little bitey. Thanks to you. And then there's Yvette and Remy, the governor's eyes and ears. In exchange, I'd call that a good day's work. Now we just need the right equipment. When my parents died, they left me their life's work. Exactly. There are many ways of going. The problem is it's in the basement.
I'm sure everything's fine.
I would get it myself, but I'm not. Right now, I would rather focus on the work ahead of us. The door to the basement is just outside, around the corner. Of course, you'll need a key. Please excuse the mess.